Berg with Media Ministry and Kristine Hopkins with the Stewardship Committee. Hi. This is the, I guess, the 6th episode in the podcast. And Kristine's on the Stewardship Committee, which is where all these questions kind of came from that we've been going through with other members of the committee. And wanted to have Kristine come in and talk a little bit about the stewardship and where these questions came from and where this is all going and how it fulfilled your vision or didn't, whatever you were looking for from both a personal and a stewardship level, as we kind of went through the stuff with the congregation. So I guess the first question I have is, where did you guys get the idea for these questions?
It's a great question, and thanks to everyone for watching these couple of episodes with us and hanging tough. I think what we were hoping to accomplish is really to try to get the congregation talking and reconnecting. The pandemic's been really difficult on everyone, and so this would be a way that we thought that we could bring people together, but also focus on our lovely commit card, which we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. And for those of you who have been following along, you'll note that these questions that we've been asking follow along with the 3 themes on our commit card. So if you remember from the first week, our question was, when and how did you realize God loves you, right? And I think that was Bob Poole that came in
Right, and we had to do that over 2 episodes because we were introducing what we were doing, and there were so many responses to that it actually, there were 2 episodes to cover that one.
So I mean, that was great. And so we thought that question really aligned with the commit to a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And so we wanted to sort of think about our personal experiences, how that allows us to connect with Jesus and to reinvigorate, and reflect on who Jesus is and why we're all here together. And then for the second session that we did, the question was, how do you show your love for Jesus to others, right? And so that aligns with our question of personal relationship to your neighbor, right? How do you show your personal relationship to your neighbor? And we had lots of people write in their responses for that. And then the last 2 questions really connected to the last element of commit, which was committing to a personal relationship with St. Paul's. And that was, what acts of kindness have you seen at St. Paul's? And then how has St. Paul's helped you draw closer to Jesus? And so all great thought-provoking questions, and we just want to provide a forum for people to connect and to talk about that and to also just reinvigorate this idea of committing to those 3 different elements that Pastor Jonathan's been talking about.
And that's what stewardship is that commitment. And a lot of times I think we think about money when we hear stewardship. I know that's kind of the first thing that drops in my head, but there's so much more to it than that.
For sure. I mean, so we will be spending the next part of 2022. You're going to be hearing more from us about the time and talent part of the 3 T's, if you will, right? Tithing, time, talent. And so we look forward to bringing some new opportunities to the congregation to really think about how we give of our time and of ourselves.
And one of the things I learned as I did the interviews for these podcasts is how much talent there is in this congregation.
Absolutely. We're so blessed in that way.
Right. Just when we would go through the different questions, the different ideas, the things that I would hear people that had written in, and then also all 3, Bob Poole, Rick Struck, and Tom Bertelson, they all had their own list of things too. And just how broad the different ways that people gave, not only of money but of time and of their talents and the gifts that went beyond cash.
Yes.
That mean so much, and there's such a big part of the stewardship commitment in any church.
Yes, absolutely. And so we just want to spend a few minutes saying thank you to everyone who participated in the questions and the answering and just listening to the podcast over the last couple of weeks. But before we close, I did want to ask you, since you've been listening to all these, Mike, what's been sort of your experience after you've read everything and seen everything? What message does this leave you with?
It leaves the first thing it leaves me with is a feeling of a lot of hope. I don't know, the message is that there's so much going on in this church. I think in one episode I said there's so much going on, and I'm pretty deeply involved in a lot of things, and I still can't keep track of everything that's going on. And I'm doing like the various videos and doing the social media stuff, and then something will pop up and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know we were doing that, or I forgot we were doing that. Yeah. So the way that this church has navigated this pandemic is just impresses me to no end. We continue to maneuver through this life-changing event, but do it with such grace and love, and not forgetting our homeless brothers and sisters, not forgetting to feed the people that need to be fed. So those are some of the things that kind of meant a lot to me, that there were good reminders for me, that resonated with me and make me really excited about 2022. I think another part of it for me is, for every response we got, for every one that emailed something in, or that Bob talked about, or Tom or Rick, I know there's probably 20, 30 others that people didn't write about, and I know they're going on. And some of them I specifically know, and some there's all this anonymous stuff going on, and that's all great. That's all an important part of the church life. But those are the kind of the things that it just gave me a lot of hope.
That's awesome. That's exactly what we're really hoping for by doing this process. So I want to say thank you to you for helping us put it together.
I've enjoyed it. It's like I said, it's been easy for me to do because it's been so uplifting for me, and I've got the opportunity to talk to all of you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And speaking of talking to all of you guys and girls, and as we go into 2022, this is the last podcast for 2021, but this isn't over with. We're going to do more stuff. I'm going to do some history stuff with Pastor Mark.
Nice.
We're going to touch on some history things here in the church, going back into the early days. Deacon Susan's going to come, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the youth she's going to a youth convention in Minnesota, I think in February. So we're going to talk some about that, some of the ideas. But if there's somebody that you'd like to see or see interviewed, or somebody that an event or a topic you want to see covered here in the mailbag, just let me know. You can do it. You can send an email to the church office, grab me in church. I see Kristine all the time. You can let her know, and we can exchange numbers and stuff, and I'm happy to do this. I just think it's a really good way to reach back to the congregation, and we have so many people doing so many things. I think it's important for everybody to see all that's going on here, because it's such a vibrant place.
You're so right. We're so fortunate. We want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and we look forward to seeing you around the church campus. If you haven't had a chance yet to turn in your time and talent, there's still time, as well as there's still a little bit of time to put in your tithes for 2021. So thank you for all you do. Peace and love.
Merry Christmas.